Hello and welcome. I'm Kelsi, Steele, joined alongside Scott Stewart. It's the USL eCup Rocket League draw, and we are here to bring you the entire stream to see where your favorite team lies. This is going to be a 32 USL Rocket League tournament that's going to start on Tuesday, March 31st, and go all the way through Friday, April 21st. Scott, I know it's been a minute since I've seen your lovely face. We've been practicing social distancing, and we are going to bring you guys this draw. Distance apart, Scott and I are really only a few hundred feet apart from each other at the moment, but practicing our best practices here during this time. Scott, how are you doing, my guy?
Great. Fantastic. We're out here. Social distancing, very important at this time. So with that, I'm excited to kick this thing off. I'm excited to see where this goes. I think this tournament has a lot of potential, so let's do it.
Usually I social distance from you anyway, so we're kind of just picking up from
Doggone, we're just following procedure per normal, per usual.
Listen, this Rocket League is going to be a really great time, and we're excited to see all the representatives and the competitive edge come out on social. I know everyone's been missing a little bit about that. Scott, you've dabbled a little bit in the Rocket League play. Tell me about that experience for you.
Yeah, dabbled is a loose term for sure. I should clear myself of any responsibility of quality of play as we get into this. I've played about 4 games. It's tough. I'm not going to lie. It is. It involves just so much more than I thought initially. Like you've got a lot of components in like a soccer style format game that's more just like, I mean, it's field hockey. It's anything. It's an end-to-end game. The goal is to get the ball from one end to the other end and into the opponent's goal. There's everything that's involved with like boosting. There's jumping. There's timing the jumps. There's double jumps. There's like ramming cars, destroying cars. So it's very involved. I'm more just intrigued as to the quality of competition that we're going to have. I think there will be a variance in our tournament, and I think that'll be what makes this fun.
And for people who aren't super familiar with Rocket League, it's soccer, but with rocket-powered cars. So you've got these rocket-powered vehicles to hit the ball into the opponent's goal, and then you score points over the course of the match. And so we thought that this would be a really fun way to kind of get everybody involved. And I think we need to get right into what the overview looks like for our draw, Scott. We have 32 teams in the entire draw between League One and Championship play. So that's exciting to have everybody involved. The duration of the tourney is going to be a few weeks span, but, and Scott, I want you to shed a little bit of light on this, it's going to be a World Cup style play as well. So tell the people a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, I think this is what makes this tournament cool, as well as like what we're going to see in terms of aspects of play. Like I think the format of this also adds to sort of the attractiveness of this tournament. So we're looking at a World Cup format. So you've got 8 groups, 4 teams per group. They'll progress through a 3-week group stage that will be followed by a 2-week knockout round stage. The idea is to basically have it mirror exactly what a World Cup would look like. The top 2 teams from each group will advance. From there, we'll set up the knockout stage. I know we have a blind draw for that prepared as well. Yeah, I mean, it's going to look everything like a proper soccer tournament would. It's just that we're playing Rocket League throughout this. So the point is, we're going to build everything up to the semifinals on that Thursday and then give it a day break, just like the World Cup, and then celebrate big with the final on Saturday. So I think it's promising. I'm really looking forward to this.
It's going to be awesome, and I think the other biggest difference we're going to see here on top of the World Cup play, it's only going to be a 1v1 matchup, too. So what these rosters look like is you could have up to a 3-person roster, so you'll have a captain and then up to 2 alternates. So if the captain's unavailable for that match on a given day, one of the alternates can step in. I cannot wait to see who some of these clubs select, who's going to step up on the plate. That's going to be super entertaining, but I know for Scott and myself and everybody tuning in right now, we want to know who's playing each other. So what do you say we get into the draw?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
32 teams are about to be unveiled in our very own eCup tournament. And here's the thing too, guys, Scott and I are just finding out as we're going through this who is going to be in each group and facing each other. So group 1 out of the gate here, it's North Carolina FC, Reno 1868 FC, Louisville City FC, and Tacoma Defiance. Scott, who do we like out of that group?
That's a group. That's interesting.
That is a group.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just like 4 names you probably wouldn't ever put in a sentence together, honestly.
Yeah, but I dig that though, because we're looking at 2 Eastern Conference teams, 2 Western Conference teams. North Carolina and Louisville had the pleasure of meeting each other on the field in week 1, so now they're meeting in the E-tournament. I think that'll be cool. I'm just going to say that Reno was super on the ball about jumping in on this tournament. Reno was super involved, so I'm excited to see what they have to say about this. Louisville was late to the game, but enthusiastic. North Carolina was in on this, and Tacoma expressed some late interest as well. So I will reserve my judgment, but I do enjoy that we have a nice split conference. We got 2 from the East, 2 from the West. Now we can just see who fields the best players here.
Also, the biggest thing we haven't even mentioned is we're finally seeing interconference play. You guys have been waiting for this.
Wow. We've been waiting for ages for this, really since the USL championship final press conference, and the question posed to John Hackworth. John, this is it, man. You guys get a chance to play Reno and Tacoma off the field, so looking forward to it.
Hack, you've been waiting. Let's see who will arise in Group 2. Ooh, Austin Bold FC, Charleston Battery, Tormenta FC, there's a League One representative there, and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC.
Okay.
Initial thoughts? I mean, I love that we're able to throw a League One team here in the mix, Scott.
Yeah, I think that's part of like the fun of this tournament is we have 7 or 8 League One teams bought into this, and I mean we'll be seeing cross league play as much as cross conference play. So I think that's a big bonus as well. I know Austin was really excited about this. I think Austin is one of few teams who might be playing on the PC. Not sure what advantages or disadvantages that bring to the table, but something to definitely consider. Charleston was in from day 1, and I believe Colorado was the final team, Colorado Springs.
And I would say the Switchbacks right now, they're ready to go. There's no rust. They had their own, tournament this weekend. They joined Portland for their home opener this past weekend. I mean, they're ready to go. I think that they're going to take this Group 2 by storm.
The only Western Conference team represented in that group. So let's see what they can know. Austin, right? Austin's also in that group?
That would be West.
Charleston's alone. Yeah, all right, thanks. Appreciate that. Need the clarification clearly. So Charleston can represent the East, go all out for Charleston, and in the West we've got 2 competitors who are eager to get involved with this initiative. Or
will we see an underdog rise through Group 2? There's only one way to find out.
I'm kind of rooting for the League One teams immediately, just because I think we've got to a little bit, right? Like we've got to be like this is an underdog format, but who knows? The League One teams could bring the best competition. We've yet to see who is exactly going to represent these guys.
Well, we're going to have another one here in Group 3. Phoenix Rising leads the group, followed by San Diego Loyal. Toronto FC 2 is in there, and then of course Philadelphia Union 2. So this is an interesting group as well. We've got some new dogs in there with San Diego. We've got an League One team, and of course Phoenix, who just tend to kind of be the favorite in whatever they do. How big would it be to see a club like Toronto just kind of come in hot and knock Phoenix off of their chair?
Competition a little bit. You think that's a possibility in this?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about the eCup here. Anything can happen.
That is Kelsi, that's a great point. Let's dive into that. Phoenix, I think this is really interesting for Phoenix. I've heard that there are a number of clubs who are soliciting some celebrity representation. So I think who Phoenix brings to the table very much correlates with my answer for their competitiveness in this. But I think it's cool. San Diego was super eager about this. I know Philadelphia was eager about this as well. So I think Toronto, from my side, is backs up against the wall a little bit, but I don't want to rule out the underdog, especially in a World Cup style format. Who knows what can happen game to game? This is a good group. I like this one.
A little birdie told me that we might have somebody representing Phoenix who might not even have a background in soccer.
Heard he might know his way around a turntable, though. Maybe.
We'll see. All right, heading into Group 4. Pittsburgh Riverhounds leads the way. RGV FC is going to be in there. San Antonio FC and El Paso Locomotive FC. So almost a full house on the Western Conference side there. We throw Pittsburgh in. But I love to see San Antonio and El Paso kind of hit heads right out of the gate here, Scott.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely love that. I think San Antonio is another team who's eager to get this going. What's interesting?
Oh, they're ready.
Oh, they're ready. I know. I can't wait for your future topics on San Antonio. But I think one cool thing about this is only the second. I don't know of how many groups, obviously, that are full of just championship sides, but a few of these teams are familiar with each other just because of the Western Conference tie-in alone. So I'm interested if we're going to take the Copa Tejas from on the field to off the field and extend it to the USL eCup as well. RGV against San Antonio could be huge.
I love that. I love that so much. I have nothing to add. That was such a great hit. See what we got for Group 5 here, Scott. St. Louis FC, New York Red Bulls 2, North Texas SC, and Richmond. So we've got a little bit of more League One representation here.
2 League One teams. I think that's awesome, including the League One champion from last year, North Texas SC. St. Louis and who was the other championship rep?
New York Red Bulls 2.
They're amped. Let me tell you, New York Red Bulls is ready to hit the ground running and continue to run throughout. So I won't tease favorites or what I know about that side of things, but I think that they're eager to hit the ground running for sure.
I like Richmond in this group, Scott.
Wow.
Richmond, I mean, they're one of those clubs that's just kind of been around forever, you know? I
hope that you picked a good rep because Kelsi's talking you up already. We haven't even seen it, but
don't let me down. Do not let me down, guys.
Well done.
All right, Group 6. Ooh, leading Group 6, Union Omaha. Hasn't even kicked the ball yet officially on the pitch, but they're going to kick some balls with some rocket-powered cars, let me tell you. We've got Hartford Athletic, we've got Loudoun United, and OKC Energy wraps up this group. So, Scott, I know this wasn't going to, what you anticipated for the very first time that you see Omaha taking the pitch here. How do you feel about their chances in Group 6?
The virtual field.
I like that.
You know what? I want to back Union Omaha here. I think that they had an internal or fan-driven FIFA tournament as well. So clearly these guys are interested in the esports realm. Mm-hmm. Now it's a question of can they convert that interest from FIFA to Rocket League? Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I've always had an affinity for the Owls. I think that they've done a lot right in the early days. Would like to think that they can translate that to the play, but Loudoun, I've got an interesting soft spot inclination that something in Loudoun's going to go right. So you may have some competition.
I have a feeling we'll get back to Loudoun here in a few minutes as well. But before we do that, we've got 2 more groups headed our way. Group 7, Greenville Triumph leads us out of the gate here. FC Tucson follows Indy 11, who I know has been gearing up for this group. And Las Vegas Lights wraps us up. This is I like this group a lot, personally, Scott.
This group is promising, definitely. Not only because we have 2 other League One teams, but we have Indy 11, who you always have high expectations for across the board. Content team, Trey Higdon, John Gruder, all that jazz. And then Las Vegas Lights, who have been adamant from the start that they have, I don't know if they have a ringer. I don't know how good this guy is, but let me just say that they have had their rep picked for a few days now, and they are ready to absolutely light this thing up. No pun intended, very much pun intended. Yeah, this is a great group. I like this. This is great.
I think I will go out and say that I think this Group 7 is going to be the most enthusiastic and entertaining group out of our eCup.
I like that. I'll back that.
Our final group here, group number 8. I guess if you can do math, you might have an idea of who rounds us out here. But Birmingham Legion FC is going to get us started. Forward Madison, Memphis, and FC Tulsa. Our 8 groups are in. And any initial thoughts there? I got a after FC Tulsa. Scott.
No, I like this. This kind of reminds me of a weird Open Cup draw. The teams are regional, but not too regional to be impossible. I think St. Louis and Forward Madison and Memphis absolutely could have met each other all in the field at some point this year. I wouldn't have ruled out Birmingham either. Yeah, I like this because this feels like the most geographically connected group. Ooh. This has no geographic tie at all in it, right. But I think that's a soft element of this project as well. I hope Tulsa brings their A game. I'm expecting big things out of the Tulsa group as well.
And I think it's important to note all of these matchups, these groups, everything has been randomly selected. Nothing is coming out of the league office here where we were dying to see some matchups take place. But in this entire group stage, guys, it's going to be a best of 3 series. And the top 2 that have the most points in each group will be the ones to advance out of that. And, of course, you guys can find more information on tiebreakers and goal differential and how all of that plays a factor on our website once the live draw is up and running. You guys can see the brackets and all of that good stuff. I think one important thing that I want to note here before we go into the teams that we are wanting to watch is one of the cool aspects about the USL eCup is that there's going to be a charity element to this as well, which is super unique to this tournament. So each club's going to have the opportunity to have a charitable tie-in locally. So clubs are going to nominate a charity of their choosing and then a link to a donation page throughout all of these Twitch streams. So yeah, you guys are all going to be able to watch your favorite teams through their streams. So this is really cool too, on top of everything that's going on around, Scott, that clubs are able to choose a charity of their choosing and give back a little when it seems like we just kind of need some positivity right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's a current partner or a new initiative for the club, I think that this was one of the most important parts of the tournament for us. Just the idea that we were able to organize something this big and this widespread, but also have it be hyper-local in this instance, I think that's really important. So I'm excited to see what clubs come up with here.
Well, let's keep on moving the show along. I know you and I have both selected 2 clubs that we believe are the clubs to watch throughout this tournament for very specific reasons. Scott, I'm going to let you name your first 2 first. Who is your first team to watch throughout the USL eCup?
The first one, and I kind of teased it a little bit, obviously, but I think Loudon has told me that their rep is a player. We won't go beyond that. I'll let them confirm that side and sort of do their own reveal. But I think the fact that they were so quick to identify somebody and that it is somebody on the roster shows that this person cares about this game, plays this game probably frequently, and might have a bit of an onus to prove himself in a competition format like this. So Loudon was number 1.
Scott?
Huh?
How quick are we talking? How quickly did they identify somebody to represent them?
We're talking within minutes of my initial outreach on this. They were like, hey, we're in. This player is our rep, and he wants to know anything that he possibly can do to
Oh, man.
So, again, I don't want to, claim that I have any ringer advice or any information like that, but I do know that Loudon has been invested from day one. The other one, a little bit of a surprise, but, again, it's kind of along the same vein of selection. Las Vegas Lice FC were very, very quick to say, hey, we're in. Mm-hmm. I've got somebody who may or may not play Rocket League professionally, maybe not professionally. But is very good at this game. I don't want to just sound like a dude who only rolls with the ringers. But when I have teams come back this quickly to us and say, hey, we've got this guy, he's this interested in playing, here's his background on it, I'm more inclined than not to believe that they might have some skill.
I think this is a little bit of an unfair advantage for you, Scott. You're the PR guru. You already have an in with all these teams. I didn't have any of this information to work off of.
I wouldn't necessarily say that there's any competitive advantage, though, in this, Kelsi, I
want to beat you at anything that we do. So now I'm like, I feel like I was unfairly put in this situation.
Yeah, and I'm sure you would play the victim card where possible. But I just think that overall – these 2 teams, I think, are just locked in. I've just gotten, whether verbal confirmation or not, I've just gotten an indication that these teams are highly competitive and they want and have the will to win this thing. So we'll see where it goes.
All right, Loudon and the Lights are Scott's 2 top picks. Mine are neither, and mine both happen to be Western Conference representatives. So I'm going to go with my first one here. Is San Antonio FC will be my first representative. So I did a little bit of research, Scott, because I wasn't given the information that you were. And I thought, what city knows a ton about video games? And it just so happens that this year, San Antonio hosted the Penny Arcade Expo, also known as PAX. So it just is like huge gaming convention, like arcade games, video games, you name it. One of the biggest in the world was in San Antonio this year. So my mind tells me that this city's been kind of prepped, you know, like they've been exposed to this industry of recently, and there was a reason that it was hosted there. Maybe because it had a venue that everyone could fit in, or maybe it's because there's a lot of video game interest in San Antonio and they're secretly all freaking experts. So San Antonio is going to be one of my front runners. Don't disappoint me.
Love that. That's great.
My other one is our new guys out of Cali. I'm going San Diego Loyal as my other club to watch. So Psyonix is Rocket League's developer. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but they're
I wasn't given that information. So
Google. Use brain.
Classic.
And the developer just happens to be based in San Diego. So in my opinion, if we're talking about a city or a team that might be well-versed on video games, especially ones that are created in that area code, probably going to be San Diego.
That's a fair no.
So I think they have got a serious advantage.
You put in so much more research than I did for your answers than I received.
Because I wasn't handed any pieces of information, Scott Stu.
I had to reach out for it, but no. In all honesty, though, I think that the research in the background on San Antonio, we'll see how relevant it becomes, but I respect that. That's a nice word to play. San Diego, I back. I think San Diego has some potential. I think San Diego's rep is what will make or break their case as potential winners. So it's we'll see where they go.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So we got our ones to watch. The full bracket is officially unveiled. So group stage is going to start Tuesday, March 31st, you guys. So you've got enough time here to get yourself familiar with Rocket League, play some games online, get some of your gear, get set up in the apartment. We're social distancing with a cause right now. Charities are aligned. We're playing soccer with some rocket cars. It's going to be a great time. So that group stage is going to go all the way through Friday, April 10th. And then we're going to get on into the knockout round. Everything is live on the website now, you guys. You've got the brackets up there. You can rewatch the show if you want. Scott and I are going to be providing a lot of fun commentaries and feedback and reaction content throughout this entire series. So if there's anything that you guys are looking for, make sure you let us know. But Scott, I don't know about you. I'm ready to get some competition up and going league-wide.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for this. I know that there were some questions around whether or not we would be doing anything in a space like this, and I'm glad to see it come to fruition. So let's do this. I'm ready to go. We
heard you guys loud and clear. We wanted to make sure that it was done right, and we truly feel like this is going to be a heck of a ride. So stay safe, stay healthy, do your Rocket League research because we have play starting on March 31st. Thanks, guys. We will see you soon, and we hope you enjoy the draw.